Hey, the game of the week heads to the south end of the valley tonight as we visit Mountain Crest as they host their rivals from across the mountain, Box Elder. The Box Elder Bees come into this game scoring a whole lot of points. They're averaging 42 points per game. They hung 54 last week on Bear River. Bear River, their Cross Valley rival, and that is a huge rivalry game, and for Box Elder to beat them by 20 and score that many points, the Bees might just have something. For the Mustangs, it's been defense the last couple of years, and that's been their calling card, and offense has kind of struggled. This year, their offense is still struggling. They're averaging just over a touchdown per game while giving up about 25 points per game. Doesn't sound like a good mix, a high-powered offense against a defense that's struggling a little bit and an offense that can score and keep up. But you know what? They don't play the games on paper. They play them on the field. And we're going to see the Bees at the Mustangs on the Game of the Week coming up next.
Life's more than a race to the finish. It's the power to choose what you do and a trainer for where you go.
Welcome to Thailand. So glad that you joined me.
Ready to get started? Let's go.
It's having a friend guiding you on the journey as a partner with a plan built specifically for you. On any day, for every day. It's someone there for every weight, lift, and lunge. And every flex, push, and crunch.
Nice work, you guys.
It's motivation, inspiring you, mentally and physically. A companion for the downhills and the uphills. A coach for the tough days.
Keep going.
And the easy days. Showing you new things and taking you to new places. Because with your trainers, fitness is an adventure.
Great job. This view is your reward. I'll see you again tomorrow for another amazing workout.
The X22i from Nordic Track. Your life, your trainers.
It's time for Wendy's Bacon Fest.
Bacon.
That's right. The place that brought you the Baconator and sells more bacon cheeseburgers than anyone is making all your Applewood smoked dreams come true. Like the all-new Bacon Jalapeno Cheeseburger. Or the Bacon Double Stack in the $5 Biggie Bag. If you're this crazy for bacon,
make mine a double.
We got you with the Bacon Jalapeno Cheeseburger or the Bacon Double Stack Biggie Bag. Get yours now at Wendy's Bacon Fest.
Over the period of time, my hearing became worse and worse.
Over the course of the years, I developed a hearing loss, and I would not be able to hear my employees talk to me sometimes.
For Paul Dayton's and Cache Valley's integrity, his character, his background, his equipment, I would recommend him to anyone for a hearing aid specialist.
Well, Coach, coming to the third game of the season, and defense has been the calling card for the Mountain Crest Mustangs, but the defense has given up a few points your first couple of games, and the offense still kind of a work in progress. Fill us in on what's been going on.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, we always have emphasized having a great defense and trying to, win championships by defense. And the kids are focused in on that. Offensively, we just need to execute better. Some of our miscues on offense have just been, a miss a block here, a miss a block there, or a penalty or whatever. And we've tried to eliminate those with the kids and keep them mentally tough and keep them excited. I mean, that's the name of the game. If the kids are excited, they're usually going to play hard and usually get a win out of that.
Well, I know they take their defense very seriously out here at Mountain Crest. It's always been a source of pride for this program. So now you face a Box Elder team that they run that wing tee, and I don't know that you're going to see that look again the rest of the year, are you? And tell me about the challenges that the wing tee brings to a team.
They're very dynamic as far as misdirection. They have a lot of skilled players, but don't misconstrue the fact they'll throw the ball. I mean, they're throwing it. They're throwing it quite a bit to number 34. Sometimes he's in that white jersey, or it's their tight end. Yeah. And sometimes he's number 3, number 1, number 6. They've got some good players. 21's obviously a good player for him. He's a slot.
Well, then they got that big quarterback that can see over everybody at 6'6". He's dangerous.
That's I think another reason they're throwing a little bit more than they have, even in other past years that we've seen him. He's tough. He's a good player. He sees the field well, and their offense by itself, without all the extra stuff of the skilled players, it's tough to stop because of all the misdirection. If you are not doing the right things defensively, you can get pounded. I mean, you can get really pounded quick.
Speaking of quarterbacks, you've moved on from a long-time quarterback. He graduated, and now you've got Taden Burbank, who didn't play last year, and he's come out and playing this year. And how's that going for you? Are you settled in at him, or is Baldwin in the mix at all?
He's our main guy. Burbank's a tough kid. For whatever reason, he didn't play the year before, but we love him. We're glad he's out. He's got good poise. He brings some calmness out there. He really does. He commands the respect of the kids, and they want to play for him, and they block for him well. I felt like our offensive line played a lot better last week than we did the first week. We just need to execute and make good decisions.
All right, good luck tonight, Coach.
Thanks.
Say the word base. Say the word mess.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. New Smile Dental, experienced dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Palmer Home Furnishings, our low overhead means higher quality at lower prices. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Anderson Seed and Garden, growing better gardeners. Factory Pizzeria, we're open late after the game. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hyrum, Lynn R. Miller Field on the campus of Mountain Crest High School, where tonight the Mountain Crest Mustangs play host to the Box Elder Bees. I'll be with you all night long. My name's Eric Olson. If you don't have your drinks, if you haven't been to the little boys or girls room, now's the time to go, because we're going to get things started here in just a moment. Their captains are down at midfield with the coin toss. Dave Christensen, the head official, the white hat down there, tossing said coins into the air. Box Elder, a Region 5 foe. They come into this game 1-1, winning against Bear River last week, 54-34 in the Golden Spike rivalry. 95 times they've played that Golden Spike rivalry. And Box Elder gets the win by 20 points last week. Box Elder's going to receive, and they're going to go south to north in just a few here when we get ready to kick off. Mountain Crest comes in 0-2. Last week, a loss to Wasatch 17-8 in a game they really feel like got away from them, one that they should have won. We're going to talk a little bit more about these two teams. We're going to take a break right now. We'll come back with the opening kickoff and more from Mountain Crest, where it's the Bees and the Mustangs on the Game of the Week.
Tell me something and I'd say, huh? And then they'd tell me again and I'd say, huh? And they'd say, never mind. And so I called and made an appointment.
Say the word pass.
He's a PhD, and I know what it takes to get a PhD.
Say the word red.
It was like night and day. And then the hearing test was the thing that I thought, wow, he really knows what he's doing. I would recommend Dr. Daines to anybody, everybody.
My grandpa went to the Star Hospital to get his back fixed. The doctor used a robot to make a mini invasion. That's pretty cool. When Grandpa had his old back, he just laid on the couch and watched the news. But now we do cool stuff like fishing and hiking.
We provide comprehensive spine care and minimally invasive orthopedic procedures at 8-star hospitals all along the Wasatch Front. Look for the star.
Wonder where we keep all the robots.
4A against 5A tonight in the game of the week on the Valley Channel. Box Elder heads east over the mountain to take on Mountain Crest. Mountain Crest 0-2, 4A Region 12. Last year they were 7-5, third in Region 12. They lost in the quarters to Orem, 58-28. Everybody lost to Orem last year. And Box Elders, we mentioned before, 1-1 coming into this one. 102 years of football being played at Box Elder. They're 573, 43, and 25 over that time. 8 state titles. And another thing to mention, this is the 400th game in Mountain Crest history. So what, 36 years, I believe, in existence? Game number 400 for the Mountain Crest Mustangs, and they're looking to get into the win column after starting the season 0-2 and giving up 25.5 points a game, but even more concerning, only scoring 7.5 points per game. We'll get into that in just a minute after when Mountain Crest has the ball, but for now the Mustangs are going to give it over to Box Elder and a high pooch kick, and it is free, and going up to get after it is Trey Fuller. He knocks it down and the Mustangs have it. Trey Fuller skywalking, gets up there, taps it down, and Elijah Jackson comes up with it. And the Mustangs have it on the Box Elder 26-yard line, 1st and 10 Mountain Crest. For the Mustangs, Taden Burbank, last week 9 of 22, against Salem Hills. We didn't have stats for him last week, but against Salem Hills, 9 of 22 for 90 yards. Last year, they only had 4 games with more than 100 yards passing. Throwing the ball has been a chore for the Mustangs the last couple of years, and Burbank comes out firing. He looks a little out pattern, and he misses Baldwin. Burbank didn't play last year. Took a year off from football, as Coach Lee said in the interview before, for whatever reason. They're happy to have him back this year, playing at quarterback. He's got Baldwin and Schroeder in the backfield with him. Schroeder, an all-state linebacker last year. And he gets the carry right up the gut. Not much. Pickup of a couple. So it's going to be 3rd down and 8 after the Mustangs recover. The high little pooch kick went way up in the sky. Fuller tracked it down, knocked it down, and Elijah Jackson came up with it. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Looks like Camden Olson to the right. Schroeder in the backfield. He goes to Olson. Olson with the grab. Strong hands. And his forward momentum takes him down to the 14-yard line and a 1st down. Miles Bentley spins him down. But Olson hauls it in, showing good strong hands. And the Mustangs are in business at the 14. Here's the give to Schroeder. Schroeder into the secondary and down inside the 6 to the 5-yard line. 2nd and 1. And a good start for the Mustangs. Now see if they can punch it in. I formation, big backfield for the Mustangs. They can get a 1st down. They need a yard for that. Give to Schroeder. Schroeder's got the 1st down. Goal to go for the Mustangs at the 3. The Mustangs really feel like, I talked to members of the coaching staff, and couple of players, they really felt like last week with penalties that they really hurt themselves against Wasatch. It was a game they could have won and probably should have, with so many penalties. And that's what a focus was this week. Schroeder into the end zone, and the Mustangs draw first blood. They're going to go for two. They give it over to Olsen, and he's into the end zone. So not even 3 minutes into the game, the Mustangs have exceeded their scoring average for the season. It's 8-0 Mountain Crest. You're watching the game of the week.
Hey guys, if you've been thinking about a guitar or any other instrument in mind for you or somebody else, we have some great financing options from 6 to 12 months. Yamaha's doing a 12-month plan right now. Come in, get some time to pay it off, and have no interest for up to a year.
Mountain Crest with a little bloop kickoff to start the game. They recover it. They're going to do the same thing this time, and this one's going to get out of bounds before the Mustangs can get there. They recover it, they punch it in, and then Trey Fuller catches the little screen pass on the two-point conversion. The Mustangs take an 8-0 lead against Box Elder, against a Box Elder team that averages 42 points per game. They know the Mustangs do. They're going to have to score in this game. And maybe, just maybe, they will be able to, because while Box Elder's scoring a huge clip, they're also giving up 34 points per game. The wing T offense run by Box Elder. Your linebackers, your players, they have keys, and they've got to follow those keys. It's assignment football. And they'll run a lot, but next thing you know, they're throwing the ball right past you and down the field for a big one. Buchanan, 6'6", running that T as the quarterback. He hands it off to Harrison Hodgson, and Hodgson goes down after a gain of 1. There's a flag thrown right at Hodgson's feet. Let's see what the call is. Personal foul, face mask. That's what it looked like from where it was thrown. It may probably be, so it's the 15-yard variety, and the Mustangs giving up 15 the easy way. Parker Buchanan last year, or this year so far, 26 of 44, 443 yards, 17 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and hitting just about 6 out of 10 on his passing attempts. Buchanan's going to throw. He throws a little out. It's popped up in the air off the hands of Wheatley and goes incomplete. If you're playing a team like Box Elder, you want to get them. They can throw the ball, but their strength is their run. You want to get ahead of them. You want to get them out of that run, because if they get a couple of scores on you, they'll just grind you down and finish you off. You can see those two wings and a back behind Buchanan. Buchanan's going to give to Hodgson. He's in trouble in the backfield. He's caught for a 2-yard loss. And it's going to be 3rd down and 12. Buchanan will go to the sideline to get the play. Wheatley and Hodgson in the backfield. With another back Buchanan's going to keep it. Hit as he throws, he delivers. It's caught short of the marker. Bentley Miles picks up 10. He needed 12.
Buchanan's pass completed to number 2, Bentley Miles.
Let's see what Box Elder does on 4th and 2. I would imagine they're on the plus 41 that they would go for it. Buchanan waiting for the play. Buchanan 6'6", 904 yards and 11 touchdowns last year in just 139 attempts. 5 rushing touchdowns on 53 rushes, and Box Elder's going to take a timeout and talk about this. Trailing 8-0 with 8:05 to play in the first quarter, the Bees burn their first timeout. It's the 3rd week of the season. There's 35 teams that have yet to lose, and a couple of them are from here in the Valley. One of them, Ridgeline, we saw them in week 1. They're playing at Farmington. Farmington's also undefeated, so that one should be an interesting one going on tonight. 2-0 for the first time in school history for both of those schools. And Ridgeline, they started out 2-0 last year, but they're looking for 3-0 for the first time in their history. Green Canyon got its first shutout of its history this year as well. Skyview and Logan played last night up at Maverick Stadium. Both of them winning handily against Preston. Logan beat Preston big, and Skyview rolled over Shelley. Fourth and 2. Buchanan in that pistol. Buchanan's going to keep it. He's tall enough, all he has to do is fall down and get the first down, and he does more than that. He picks up 6 yards on 4th and 2.
Takes it up the middle. Gain of 5 on the play. Ball spotted at the MC 35. That'll be a first down. Trey Fuller on the tackle for the Mustangs.
Sorensen brings the play in, and then he'll split wide to the right. Wheatley the wing on the right side, so there's your strength, and they're going to run that direction. And a little end around give to Taylor. He picks up a couple.
Lucas Taylor, the ball player for the Bees, takes the ball down to the MC 33-yard line.
Ball on the Mountain Crest 33. Approaching 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. 8-0 Mountain Crest. They scored on their first possession. They kicked a short high kick and recovered it on the opening kickoff and put it in the end zone. Buchanan in trouble. Hit right in the face, and down he goes. All sorts of Mustangs in there, and that is the Mountain Crest defense that people in Hyrum are used to seeing. It's a loss of 5. It's going to be 3rd and 17. You know, we did a Logan game last week where Logan passed the ball 50-plus times. They did not give up a sack in that game. I'm not sure we saw many in that first Ridgeline Pineview game either. We saw a couple, but we'll get our first one early here in this one. As the Mustang defense sitting on a 3rd and 15. Buchanan's going to throw the little swing. Lots of Mustangs there. No gain, a loss of 4, as a matter of fact. So Taylor loses 4, and Box Elder 4th down and a lot. 4th and 19. They're going to have to punt. Camden Olson back to receive, standing on his 10-yard line. Camden Olson with a nice catch on the first possession. Defensively, as a safety, that kid's a stud. Buchanan with the kick, looking for the corner. This one's going to take a bounce into the end zone, and the Mustangs will start at the 20-yard line, leading 8-0 with 5:55 to play in the first quarter. Box Elder converted on a 4th down, but they couldn't do anything else with it. Mountain Crest back on the field. Mountain Crest, we talked about those offensive problems. In fact, I asked Coach Lee about it. You could see the kind of from the look on his face when I asked him, he's tired of talking about it. 17 points or less in 6 games last year. They were 1-5 in those games. They're going to throw this direction. This is the same play they scored the 2-point conversion on. Tony Lopez hauls it in, but he's hit immediately. He picks up 2. Used to Mustangs teams in the past going fast. They're taking their time here tonight. Looking to play some physical football. Here's the give. Earlier I said it was Baldwin in the backfield. Baldwin's 12. It's 42 Walker Hutchinson that's in the backfield, and he got the carry that time. Picks up 4. He was the only player that scored for Mountain Crest. I believe it was last week. He had a 50-odd yard run. He's a junior. It's kind of hard to see those silver numbers on those gray unis. The unis look good. Empty backfield on 3rd and 4. Underneath they go to Schroeder, and he lets it get to his chest. He was right at the marker to gain. Even if he catches it, he'd be hit immediately. He was right at the 30, which is where he needed to be. He let it get into his chest, and the defender had a hand in there as well. He may have stripped it away. So the Mustangs go 3 and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mountain Crest still looks like they only have 10 guys. Nope, they've got 11. Short kick that Wheatley's going to take back at his 37. Tripped up, taken down. Back at the 35-yard line by Trey Fuller. So Box Elder will get another crack at it, trailing 8-0, 4.5 to play in this first period. In other action, we talked about Ridgeline at Farmington. Stansbury's at Green Canyon. We saw Stansbury last week in an entertaining game against Logan, where they got a big lead on the Grizzlies, and Logan came back and made it a nail-biter, but ultimately Stansbury got the win. Eric Alder, former Skyview player and assistant coach at Skyview, at the helm there at Stansbury, playing Green Canyon tonight, and Bonneville is at Bear River. Buchanan with the give, nothing up the middle. That one's Kevin McKinnon. No gain. And when you look at the stats for Box Elder, a lot of players carry the ball in this wing tee. And you look at the motion on that last play. They sent Johnson in motion. They gave it up the middle and faked the end around. Later, they'll fake them to the dive and then give on the end around. And that's just what they do. They give on the end around to Taylor. Around the corner he goes. Excuse me, that's Johnson, and he picks up big yardage. 23 yards for Johnson. Coach Lee calls for a timeout. He's talking to the official. You can see him at the bottom of your screen there, talking about something. They call the defense over. He didn't like what he saw there on that play, so Box Elder showed on the play before. They gave on the dive. They showed that end around motion. They faked it after the give on the dive. Then the next time, Buchanan gives it on the end around, and whatever Box Elder saw from setting it up before, they liked it, and then Coach Lee didn't like what he saw. And he immediately calls a timeout to try to fix something. 3:46 to play in the first period. Mountain Crest 8-0. All the linebackers for Mountain Crest are returning starters. They were top 4 in 4A in defense last year. 7 starters back on defense. Schroeder, Jackson, Veeder, and Burgess all back. Jackson, 97 tackles last year. And at safety, Camden Olsen had 107 tackles last year. Buchanan hanging it out there for the big tight end. He catches it and he's going to score. Flag on the play. That's going to be pass interference on Noah Fletcher, who had no idea where the ball was. And that's what Box Elder will do to you. They'll get you looking for the run. Next thing you know, they're going downfield for the big play. Holgate at 6'4". .42 yards. And that's going to be defensive pass interference. Oh, holding. There you go. You saw the defender, Fletcher, reach out and grab and kind of hang on to Holgate as he knew that he was past him.
Kicking for the base, number 30, Reynolds.
Reynolds on for the PAT. It's up, it's good. It's 8-7. Mountain Crest leads Box Elder with 3:39 to play in the first.
I need you to bring the energy today. Remember, I'm here to guide you, but you're the one that has to do that work. Are you ready? Read me in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, push yourself. This is all you. Let's go. Give me your best one. Come off the bike. Okay, come on, stay with me. Let's go. Strong arms. 2 and 1. Engage that core. Everybody meet me on. Let's go. Get your mind right. I'm gonna change your bike position. You're gonna feel this. Show me what you got. Come on. Make yourself proud. Keep fighting back. What is the best you got today? Let's go. You're right. That's it. This is boot camp on a bike. Let's push. Woo-hoo. That's what separates you from everyone else. Best classes, best results. Only with Nordic Track Studio Cycle.
So Box Elder's going to be kicking off from the 50-yard line. Didn't see a penalty on the PAT, but there must have been. Holgate, who just caught the touchdown, will be the kicker. Box Elder back in the ball game, 8-7. Mountain Crest still hanging on to the lead. Holgate with the line drive, knuckleball. Drives the receiver back into the end zone, and it's a touchback. It was Camden Olsen back there. The Mustangs will start at their own 20-yard line, leading by a point. Mountain Crest on their first possession. Good mix of run and throw and move the ball efficiently. It was 3 and out the second time. Schroeder in the backfield, Hutchinson next to Burbank. Now Schroeder motions out, see if they throw to him. Nope, Burbank's going to keep. Burbank had space to the right. He chose the left. He picks up a yard. Baldwin comes off. Lopez and Fuller to the near side. And one receiver to the far side, and 2 backs in a pistol type look. They're going to hand it to Schroeder. Schroeder tries to make a move, and then he's snowed under right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him a little bit of forward progress, so a yard for Schroeder. It's 3rd down and 8. And the Mustangs off schedule. You don't want to get in 3rd and long in any offense, but especially in an offense that's struggled like the Mustangs have. Burbank, back to pass, has time across the middle to Baldwin. Baldwin at the sticks. He dropped the football and was able to haul it back in before he hit the ground. It's a first down. 9 yards on 3rd and 8. Good grab by Baldwin as he was walloped just as he caught it. Knew where the sticks were, he got there, sat down, and the ball was there. Burbank unloads again, has a man open. Out to the 45-yard line goes Brandon Arnell. 14 yards and another first down. Two receivers to this side, one to the far side. Now they're going to put Baldwin in motion. Give it to him underneath. Looking for an opening, he's got a couple. That's 4 players that have carried the football. 4 players have caught the football as Fuller comes into the ball game. Replacing Baldwin. On that little fly sweep, Baldwin, you can get to the edge or you can turn it up. Usually they're coaching to turn that up as fast as you can. Find a spot and turn it up the field. Burbank has a man in his face, throws back across his body, dangerous throw, and it's knocked away. 3rd and 8. Burbank rolling out to his right, looks back and throws it back to the middle. And Box Elder had a defender right there, Braden Peterson. They were lucky that Peterson didn't pick it off. Peterson playing in that one high safety look. Burbank as they get the screen going for Jackson. Jackson still on his feet. Oh, Jackson, Elijah. Leave a seat at the table for him. He's short of the first down by a couple. He picked up 6 yards. See what the Mustangs do. There's 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. I don't know if Mountain Crest has to run a play or not. But it's 4th and 2, a short 2. See if they can get Box Elder to jump. Yeah, and they're just going to let the quarter run out. Mountain Crest will talk about it. When we come back to start the second quarter, it'll be 4th and 2 in Box Elder territory for the Mustangs. 8-7 Mountain Crest. Back at Mountain Crest High School, we get set to start the second quarter. Eric Olson along with you. Mountain Crest leading 8-7. And they have 4th down and 2 at the Box Elder 48-yard line, and they're lining up like they're going to go for it. Heavy backfield. Burbank under center. Here's the give to the second back. It's Schroeder. He's got it and more. Look out! Schroeder needed 2 yards. He got a whole lot more. 27 yards on 4th and 2. 6 carries, 44 yards, and a touchdown for Schroeder. And he puts the Mustangs in business at the 21 of Box Elder, leading 8-7. Now Mountain Crest is going to have to take a timeout. Coaches are looking from the sideline and they're gesturing out there. I don't know if they had the wrong formation, the wrong package in there, but they called a timeout. But a huge play by Schroeder. Big hole opened up front. They had a heavy backfield. Schroeder was the last guy through the hole, and then he bounced outside. And he didn't throw a stiff arm on that cornerback so much as he threw a haymaker punch right into his helmet. Said, hey, you're going to tackle me? That's fine. You're not going to be able to count to 6 for the rest of the night. Here's all you need to know. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running right at you. Schroeder, an all-state linebacker last year. Of course he is. He sought out the contact on that one. He runs like a linebacker. Schroeder, the lead blocker that time for Hutchinson, and Hutchinson picks up about 3. Nothing fancy for the Mustangs. These two teams out here tonight, we've got ourselves a good old-fashioned street brawl, don't we? Olsen wide to the right. Arnell and Fuller to the left. Hutchinson and Schroeder in the backfield. We're going to give to Hutchinson. Low snap, it kind of messed up the timing. Hutchinson running hard down to about the 16-yard line. A pickup of 2. It's going to be 3rd and 5. Mountain Crest 2 of 4 on 3rd downs. They're 2 for 2 on 4th down. 16-yard line of Box Elder leading by a point. They pitch the outside. Schroeder can't come up with it. It's a little behind Schroeder, and he looked up. Was it Schroeder? No. That's Veeder. Veeder couldn't come up with it. He's looking to the edge before he caught it. The pitch was a little behind him, and the Mustangs turn it over. 1st and 10, Box Elder. Bullet dodged by the Bees. Ball at the 23-yard line. Not only is it a fumble, it's a 7-yard loss. So Box Elder with the ball back and a chance to go on top. Trailing 8-7. Wheatley in motion. They give it on the dive, not much there. That's Hodgson, picks up a yard. 3 carries, no yards for Hodgson. Buchanan, 2 carries for a yard. Taylor, 1 for 2. Johnson had that little end around for 23 yards. .74 total yards for Box Elder. 9.5 to play in the first half. Buchanan back to throw. Late pressure over the middle. He's got his man, and running free is Zeke Martinez. Martinez out near midfield before he's finally spun down. 29 yards. Four for 5 for Buchanan for 77 yards and a touchdown. Mountain Crest brought a blitzer late. And that blitzer came from where Martinez filled in. There was nobody there heading the other way. Here's the give on the little end around to Taylor. No gain. Second and 10. There's so much motion and misdirection and so much going on in this wing T offense. As a defense, you really have to be on your toes. And Box Elder calls timeout. That's their second timeout. And Coach Lee, coaching that defense from the sideline, he meets them. He's talking to Jackson and Schroeder, his two linebackers, about what he wants them to do. They're keying certain things. He's talking with them about it. Mountain Crest, we mentioned at the outset, this is their 400th game. 245 and 155. 13 region titles, 27 times in the playoffs, and 3 titles. 47 and 24 in the playoffs. Both these teams with a overall winning record in their history. Of course, 102 years for Box Elder. Buchanan, a lot of pressure, unloads, and his receiver can't get there. Boy, Buchanan was walloped. And they help him back up. He's big, he's 6'6", but he's not, doesn't have a lot of weight on the frame. In fact, they have him listed, well, they don't have his weight listed here. I saw it somewhere at about 215 pounds. So that's 215 spread out over 6'6", which looks a lot better than 215 spread over 5'7". That's the difference between butter spread on toast and mud spread on it. 3rd and 10. See if they come after Buchanan. They're going to throw back the other way. Mountain Crest vacated the area, and Box Elder took advantage. The Bees taking advantage of the aggressive Mountain Crest defense. 18 yards on 3rd and 10 and a first down. That one went to Johnson. It's twice on this possession that Box Elder's known right where to go with it. And the Mountain Crest D swarming so hard to the ball, they're going back with a lot of misdirection and guys not staying home on the backside. We talked about assignments. And it's starting to bite Mountain Crest with 7.5 to play in the half. They still lead 8-7. But Box Elder's on the move at the Mountain Crest 25, 2nd down and 6. Wheatley, Hodgson, I believe it's Taylor. Buchanan's going to keep coming from the backside. They're late getting there, and this one falls incomplete. Boy, they put Buchanan on his backside again. And he was slow to get up. I think that was Stockton Nielsen that walloped him. And the white hat was right there, the lead official. 3rd and 6. Box Elder 1 for 3 on 3rd downs. They give to Hodgson. The first man through, he's close. He's going to be about 2 yards short. And Box Elder, no doubt, will go for it. They called 2 plays in the huddle. They're at the line and ready to go on 4th and 2. And they went early. Now, one of the Mustangs went as well. Is it going to be on Mountain Crest or is it going to be on Box Elder? And it's on Box Elder, so now it'll be 4th and 7. Box Elder's first penalty of the night. Mountain Crest with only one of their own. Now that changes your play call. And if you're Mountain Crest, defensively, you need to learn from what's happened on this drive and stay home. If you're on the backside of a play, don't over pursue. Box Elder taking a long time to get the play in from the sideline. And there's the tight end, Holgate, split wide to the left. Wouldn't be surprised if they go after him. He moved again. That's why I say maybe they were going to him because he was the guy that moved. So another penalty. And Box Elder now 4th and 12. They had Holgate lined up to the left, which is where he was when they scored the touchdown earlier. And Mountain Crest had the corner up on him, and then they had a safety rotated over that way as well. So you got to watch out back up in the seam. This time Holgate comes wide to the near side, to the right. Too high safety look for the Mustangs. They jam Holgate. Buchanan in trouble. Runs out of trouble, has a man wide open. First down and more. Running underneath where those linebackers used to be was Lucas Taylor. And it looked like one of the Mustangs coming through there had a good bead on Buchanan, and he was grabbed from behind, and this Mountain Crest sideline doesn't like it at all, but nothing doing. On 4th and 12, they pick up the first down. They pick up 14 yards. Yeah, it looked like Buchanan was toast. And all of a sudden, the player that was running through there kind of gets yanked back. Here's the give on the little end around. Not much for Taylor. A yard, but in that pass game, Box Elder is doing a great job at finding holes and finding space and keeping Buchanan upright long enough for him to find where that space is. 4:40 to play in the first half. 8-7. Mountain Crest leads Box Elder. Box Elder has 2nd and 9 on the Mountain Crest 16-yard line, looking to take the lead. Mountain Crest turned it over deep in Box Elder territory. Buchanan hit as he throws. Nice grab by Hodgson. No, that wasn't Hodgson, that was Holgate. Holgate picks up 6. 3rd down coming up. One of 4 on 3rd downs for Box Elder. But they've converted twice on 4th down. This is 3rd and 3. Buchanan rolling. He's going to keep it. Tripped up. I think he's going to be short. He's down to the 9. He needed the 7. So he picks up 2. He's about 1.5 yards short. Boy, the defender was chasing and stretched out and just caught his heel. That's 4th and 2. And they send on the kicker. Reynolds, the kicker. Reynolds missed it. No good. So Box Elder creates the turnover deep in their own territory. Marches all the way downfield, and then their drive stalls inside the Mustang 10-yard line, and Mountain Crest will take over with 3:05 to play in the first half, leading 8-7. Ball on the 20-yard line after the missed field goal. And after the first 2 weeks, with both games, one game in the 50s, both teams scoring in the 50s, and this one the next week, both teams in the 40s, I really expected this one to be touch and go whether the teams got out of the teens. And that's what it's turning into so far. Here's the late give. I believe that's Schroeder. Let's see. Whoever it was picked up 5 yards. It was Schroeder. Hutchinson went in motion. Schroeder 49 yards on 7 carries. He's averaging 7 yards per carry. And the clock continues to roll, 2.5 to play in the half. Mountain Crest will get the ball to start the second half. Back to Schroeder. Cuts it back. He's a yard shy of the first down. 3rd and 1 coming up for Mountain Crest.
Under Schroeder off the right side, cuts it back to the left.
Mountain Crest 2 of 5 on 3rd downs.
Brings up a 3rd and 1 for the Mustangs.
Schroeder, the tailback, 7 guys in the box, and they're coming. They're going to give it to Schroeder. He finds space off the edge. Picks up a block and bounces outside. He's across the 46-yard line. 17, 18 yards. Nope, 17 where they spot it. First down, Mustangs. 70 yards in the first half for Hunter Schroeder. Hutchinson switches sides, so 2 by 2 on the formation. Schroeder in the backfield. Burbank looking to throw. Goes underneath, and it's dropped. There was yardage out there for Taylor Bitton, and he dropped it. 2nd and 10, that stops the clock with 1:24 to play in this first half. And a fast-moving first half. It's amazing how fast a football game goes when there's not a touchdown being scored every 5 seconds and 25 penalty flags. That's what we've seen the last 2 weeks. It was entertaining, except for the penalty flags part. Give it to Schroeder. He finds a seam. That's not Schroeder. That's a different back. That's Folger. That 15, Folger. No, that's Oswald. Oswald picks up 4. It's 3rd and 6. There's a pick going the other way. They sat right on it, knew it was coming, and it's 6 the other way. Flags all over the place. Bentley Miles with the pick 6, but it may be coming back. There's flags all over the place back at the 34, 35-yard line. Boy, Burbank came up, didn't look anywhere else but to that out pattern. They've thrown those little short patterns a lot, and Miles just sat on it, picked it right off. Receiver wasn't anywhere near it, so I don't know if there was a mix-up between the quarterback and what the receiver was supposed to be doing. They haven't put the points on the board yet, and they're all talking about it, these officials. So Mountain Crest with their 2nd turnover. They felt like they shot themselves in the foot last week. Well, they've loaded up the foot pistol again this week in the first half. Yet they still lead 8-7. They're talking a long time about this. Two flags, one at the 32, one at the 34. I think they're going to be on Box Elder. Personal foul by Mountain Crest, holding Box Elder. So they'd both be, if one of them's pre-possession, one of them's post-possession.
It appears to be offsetting penalties and replaying.
Now we couldn't hear the official from up here. If they both happen during the play, or if they happen before change of possession, then it's Mountain Crest football. They'd be offsetting, and they replay the down. But if it happens after the interception, then it should be Box Elder ball. And unfortunately, they don't mic up the refs. So Box Elder gets the ball, but instead of a touchdown, it's 1st and 10 on the 47-yard line of Mountain Crest. They trail by a point. Burbank with the interception. See if the Mountain Crest defense can hold again. Buchanan's going to keep it. Late pressure, down he goes. Elijah Jackson. Quarterbacks are tasty. Seven-yard loss. Second sack of the night for Mountain Crest. And Buchanan had no idea it was coming. Miles comes from the sideline. I'm not sure if he gave him the play or told him what his name was. Timeout called by Mountain Crest with 2:2 on the clock. And Box Elder was doing the misdirection. They were looking to go back against the grain. Buchanan was looking to his left, and Jackson came late from the right side and just plowed through Buchanan. That's the kind of tackle you just dream about as a defender. He's not looking. He doesn't see me coming. Say goodnight. Buchanan's taken a couple of shots in this game. He was slow to get up from a couple of them, but he keeps on getting up. And he's passed for 115 yards and a touchdown here in this first half. He's 7 out of 10. On the ground, he's taken a couple of sacks, so he's -4 yards on the ground after taking those 2 sacks. Well, Mountain Crest took the timeout. There's 2.2 seconds left. See what the Mustangs are going to do. They're playing 5 deep, and the other 6 are up. They're rushing 5. Buchanan on the quarterback keeper. He loses the football. But the time has run out. Buchanan picks up no gain, and that's the half. 8-7. Mountain Crest leads Box Elder as we head to the locker room on the Game of the Week.
Brother thought he could do a 360. Yeah, he got maybe a 60 before his face went. We went to the emergency room and Dad told us to behave because we probably would have to wait a long time. But they brought us right back here and the doctor used x-ray vision to see see you with a big dummy, bro.
ER specialists at every one of our 8-star hospitals are dedicated to seeing you fast. Mountain Star Hospitals. Look for the star.
Gonna post this on Instagram.
So I've always loved sports, and I've always participated in sports, and I've always played, and I think the best part about this job is being able to watch these athletes play, and it's part of my job just to sit there and watch these athletes succeed and play these wonderful sports. I always knew I wanted to work in medicine, and after playing many sports in high school and getting many injuries and having to come back from those injuries, I knew that I wanted to provide that same coverage and provide that same care to other student athletes, because sports is a key part of growing up. So I teach one class, and it's my exercise science sports medicine class, and it also gives the students some college credit, but mostly it gives me another setting to be with my athletes, and I can really get to know them off the field, and I can get to know their personalities. That way when an injury does happen on the field, that I can better take care of them because they know me and they recognize me. You keep people on the court and you keep them on the field, and they're always playing, and I always wanted to be a part of that. I always wanted to be part of the team, and I always wanted to just participate and make sure that everybody who is healthy can stay out there playing a lot longer. So you never want to see anybody actually get hurt, but when it does happen, it's always good to be there, because then we can evaluate to see if it's actually going to be a game changer for them. And most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's just an injury, and then we can actually get them back into play a lot quicker had they just gotten hurt and sat out. And that's what's most important about having us athletic trainers there, is that we can really work on these injuries and get them out a lot faster had they just sat out. Cache Valley Hospital is a great company to work for. They provide so much support for their athletic trainers that it just makes working with these athletes such a breeze. If we ever have any questions, concerns about a certain athlete, we can just call on our support, and the hospital is very, very generous to us here at the school, and it's just a great company, and they help the community, and they care about these athletes as much as we do, and they don't see them every day, but they still care about them, and that makes it such a different dynamic to work with. My job is to prevent injuries from happening, but to also get the athletes back out on the field as quickly as possible after one happens, and that's what Cache Valley Hospital is all about.
Why are we starting to lose our hearing? Is it genetic? Is it environmental? What's happening to us?
There's many things. Genetics can take a part of it. Certain medications, ototoxic drugs, but most of it's just life, living in general. We go to a concert here, we go to a motorcycle rally, we ride a motorcycle, we're exposed to all these loud sounds, loud music, but it all takes a little bit of hearing, a little bit here, a little bit there. We don't notice it. It's so slowly happening, and it's painless, and over time just that little bit compounds, and pretty soon we have a significant hearing loss that's affecting our ability to communicate with our loved ones.
If you are experiencing any kind of problem, be you my age or be you younger, why don't you give Dr. Daines a call here at Cache Valley Hearing? Tell us where we are, Dr. Daines, and how they can get hold of you.
We're at 485 North Main Street in Logan, and you can just give us a call at 435-753-4327 or at 753-HEAR here.
Okay, well that's a good, that's very apt. Yeah, I should say so. Any kind of hearing loss, and literally, please don't let this feeling of embarrassment or it not being manly or cool, that's a bit dim. You shouldn't be embarrassed about something that is a natural aging process.
It's actually more noticeable when you don't hear and have to have people to repeat themselves.
That's true. And extremely irritating for those around you that are having to repeat it time and time again. Thanks so much, Dr. Daines. And seriously, guys, give Dr. Daines a call. Your hearing problems will be solved. Thanks, Dr. Daines.
It takes determination, strategy, training, most of all in your mind to get the idea that you can do it and then actually do it. Going into sophomore year, I was ranked second in the state, and halfway through my 55, there was just excruciating, ripping pain up my hamstring. I instantly knew that my season was over. My orthopedic surgeon said it would take up to 9 months to recover. My coach was telling me I might not run the same way again. I'm so inspired by people who say, I'm not gonna let this stop me, I'm just gonna let this help me. So I wrote a poem, never give in, never give up to the thought of impossible, because if you pull a few strings, you can still make it happen. Every chance I got, I would hop on the treadmill, and if I could go 2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour. Started Olympic weightlifting and working fiercely with the ambition in my heart that I was gonna come back better than ever. It turned into, well, hold on, now it's getting fun.
I never thought I would have a daughter who was an Olympic weightlifter, but Laura's always had a quiet determination that whatever happens, it doesn't matter, just persevere forward and give it your all.
When I was in 8th grade, a student collapsed with sudden cardiac arrest, and I wanted to make sure that when it happened again, we as a school would be prepared. So I met with my local representative, who was kind enough to help me draft a bill that I testified for at the State House.
I was just thrilled that someone could be 15 years old and be that passionate about anything legislative. And I can't recall ever having someone get such a loud round of applause after she testified.
Being able to affect a change is inspiring and empowering. You have to know that the pain that you took in practice and the times you did things that you didn't want to do is going to pay off. And by doing that, realizing that nothing is impossible.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. New Smile Dental, experienced dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back what you have been missing. Palmer Home Furnishings. Our low overhead means higher quality at lower prices. Aspen Dental. Get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Anderson Seed and Garden, growing better gardeners. Factory Pizzeria, we're open late after the game. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years. Back at Mountain Crest High School, we're a couple minutes away from the second half kickoff. Box Elder out getting loose, ready for the second half. They trail 8-7. Mountain Crest with a little bloop kick that went down to about the 35, 34-yard line to open the game up. It was knocked around a few times and then recovered by the Mustangs. Then they took the possession, got it into the end zone. Hunter Schroeder with the 3-yard touchdown plunge. And the Mustangs with the 2-point conversion take an 8-0 lead. Box Elder comes back after trading possessions a few times. Box Elder comes back and they get a touchdown of their own, a 42-yard touchdown pass, Holgate from Buchanan. And then both teams have had chances where they've gotten deep in the other team's territory. One, a missed field goal for Box Elder, and two, a turnover for Mountain Crest. And that's where we stand. Mountain Crest with a couple of turnovers. In fact, it looked like Box Elder had taken the lead with 41 seconds to play in the half, a pick six, but there were penalties on the interception return. It brought the ball back, and that worked out for the Mustangs, and it's 8-7. Mountain Crest and the Mustangs will get the ball to start the second half. Box Elder had 30 yards rushing in the first half. That's it, 30 yards rushing, 115 in the air. 145 total. They are making a living on throwbacks, misdirections, and finding where the linebackers are vacating and finding the open receiver. Parker Buchanan, 7 of 10, 115 yards and a touchdown. Holgate, 2 catches for 48 yards and a touchdown to lead the receiving corps. For Mountain Crest, they had 79 yards rushing, 41 through the air, and 120 total. Schroeder had 70 yards and 9 by Hutchinson. Veter had a 7-yard loss on that fumble. That kind of takes their number down. Traden Burbank an interception with 5 of 9 passing for 41 yards. And that only touchdown was scored by Schroeder. Arnell had a 14-yard catch. Olson had one for 10 on that first drive that kept things alive. Other scores around the region, Ridgeline and Farmington in a battle of unbeatens, and Farmington leading that one 17-0. Farmington, the Phoenixes. Farmington Phoenixes, not the Farmington Farmers. Phoenixes, more than one. Phoeni. And they're leading 17-0. 20-9, Stansbury trails Green Canyon. As Green Canyon looking to go 3-0. And Bonneville leads Bear River 14-6. All those scores were halftime scores. So as we mentioned, Mountain Crest will get the ball to start the second half. We're ready to go. Holgate the kicker. This one's going to be fielded at the 1-yard line. Coming from the near sidelines, Olson finds a seam. Olson across the 30 up to the 34-yard line, and Mountain Crest with good starting field position as we begin this second half. Turnovers, the bugaboo for the Mustangs in the first half, 2 of them. Penalties not a problem. Mountain Crest with 1, Box Elder with 2. This is the first game we've done where there haven't been penalty flags flying like the Monarchs from Mexico on their annual migration. Goodness gracious. Here's the give to Schroeder. Schroeder adding to his 70-yard total. He picks up 4. Pretty good crowd here tonight in Hyrum for a team that started 0-2 and had a hard time putting points up. They're averaging 7.5 per game. They've got 8 right now. But here's the difference. They're giving up 25.5. They've only given up 7. And this Mountain Crest defense tonight has looked more like what we're used to seeing out of Mountain Crest defensively. Schroeder runs right into the back of one of his blockers. Good job by Box Elder to plug up that hole. The defensive tackle just moved his body into that hole, took the blocker with him. And there was nowhere for Schroeder to go. 3rd and 5. Mountain Crest is 3 of 6 on 3rd downs. Lots of time for Burbank. A catch made up near midfield and move the sticks. 13 yards on 3rd and 5. And it's a 1st down. Who was that? Who caught it? It's Fuller with the catch. Thanks to the guys in the box for the help here. Here's the give, first man through, picking up 3. Not sure who that was. It's hard to see those numbers. I believe it was Oswald. 2nd down and 7 for Mountain Crest. And they're going to throw. Burbank running out of time. Buys some time with his feet and then just throws it away. Smart play. Third and 7 coming up for Mountain Crest. They converted on 3rd and 5 just a minute ago. Four receivers to the near side, nobody in the backfield. Now Schroeder motions back into the backfield. Looks like a zone look defensively for Box Elder. Burbank winding up. Into the middle, nothing. He had Baldwin on the sideline all by himself and he couldn't find him. 4th down. Mountain Crest looking like they're going to punt it away. Walker Hutchinson on to kick. He's going to kick to Nathaniel Wheatley. Well, they need the ball back, son. Not time to switch out the ball yet. There, switch the other one. 9:28 to play in the 3rd. Mountain Crest drives into Box Elder territory and it bogs down at the 44. 4th down and 7. The Mustangs lined up to punt. And Hutchinson does kick it away. Wheatley calls for a fair catch, standing back at about his 17-yard line. Call it the 18, and that's where Box Elder will take over. Trailing by a point. Mountain Crest has led the entire way, 8-7. Box Elder's had a couple of chances. Missed field goal late in the first half, their best chance. See what wrinkles they've come up with here in the second half to try to slow down that Mountain Crest defense. They've done a good job of taking the Mountain Crest aggressive defense and making it work against the Mustangs with a lot of misdirection and throwback type stuff. A little bit of extracurricular activity going on after the play, but no flags. 3-yard gain there on first down. Miles split wide to the right, and Wheatley's in the wing to the left. They're going to give it to Hodgson. Hodgson to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 7. They haven't used Holgate much. He caught that 42-yard touchdown pass and another 6-yarder in the second quarter. He's 6'4", number 34. You can see him there in the huddle. He's got a size advantage on the entire Mountain Crest defense. And he's going to be lined up to the right side of the formation. See what the Bees do. He's releasing his Holgate. Instead, they try to go on a little quick hitter, and it's batted down by the Mustangs. 4th down. I believe that was Veeder, one of those stud linebackers for Mountain Crest. That's the heart of this defense. And they've played pretty well tonight. So 3 and out. And Buchanan back to kick. Olson standing at the 45, his own 45. Mountain Crest should get pretty good field position. Olson hauls it in and can't get out of the tackle attempt of Zeke Martinez. Martinez with a nice play as Olson's hauled down at the 41-yard line. Still pretty good starting field position for Mountain Crest with the 8-7 lead with 7:48 to play in the third. Three-man front for Box Elder. There's 4. Somebody came in late. All the way from the sideline. They faked a little fly sweep and give to Schroeder. Schroeder on the little counter. Number 5 picking him up and putting him down. Cinco de touchdown. $59 yards. He's got 130 yards and 2 touchdowns on 12 carries. That's Hunter Schroeder. And the Mustangs extend the lead. PAT nearly blocked, but you know what they say about horseshoes and hand grenades. 15-7, Mountain Crest up by 8 with 7:35 to play in the third.
Hi Cache Valley, this is Fernando over the Factory Pizzeria. We're running a special right now. We're giving a free nachos when you buy a large pizza with 3 toppings. Just mention this out and you're gonna get a free nachos every time you come. The Factory Pizzeria is located in 119 South Main, below the Gias in the basement. Come see as soon as you can. Thank you.
Hunter Schroeder with the 59-yard touchdown run. Looked like he should have been tackled a half a dozen times. They faked the end around, gave it up on inside to him, and he burst into the secondary and broke a handful of tackles on his way to the touchdown. Number 5 having a big night. Mountain Crest with that little bloop kick again, and Box Elder's going to return this time, nothing much. So Box Elder trailing 15-7. Gets the ball back trying to get something going offensively. You know, Mountain Crest has given up some plays. When you look at the stats, they've given up pass plays of 42, 29, 18, and 14 yards. And they've given up one rush of 23 yards, but they've only given up 7 points. More importantly, they've scored 15 of their own. You can play all the defense you want, you still need to score points. And if the Mountain Crest offense can come alive, they're gonna be a problem for some people. Buchanan. This one dropped. Buchanan was looking for Wheatley on the little out pattern. The defensive back was there. Fletcher coming hard after it. I think Wheatley knew it, took his eyes off the ball. 2nd and 10. Buchanan's now 7 of 12. 115 yards and a touchdown. He's been pretty efficient with his passing. 2nd and 10. Buchanan on the end around to Wheatley. Wheatley looking for an opening, has a little bit of one. He's got 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 5. Wheatley with his first carry. Box Elder's 2 of 3 on 4th down. They're only 1 of 5 on 3rd down. And the officials with a sideline warning on Mountain Crest, telling them to back up. Big Edgardo Huerta coming in on the defensive line, number 72. He is a load. Of course, both of his brothers, older brothers, playing in college. One of them was playing linebacker a couple of years ago up at Utah State. Had some injury issues, unfortunately. But Huerta, number 72, in there playing at a D tackle spot. 5-man front for the Mustangs. Buchanan unloads, ball's dropped. 4th down. He had a man well short of the 1st down, and the defense was right there. But nothing doing. I think that was Holgate. No, it wasn't Holgate. It was Johnson that dropped it. So now it's 4th down and, well, 4th down and 6 where it's marked. Olson on to return. Buchanan on to kick. Good kick by Buchanan. Olson waits, hauls it in. Made the first guy miss, but the next 2 don't. So the ball at the 23-yard line, and Mountain Crest leading by 8. Takes over. 6:57 to play in the 3rd. 3rd down's becoming a serious problem for Box Elder. They're 1 for 6 on 3rd down. Bitten to the near side. 2 receivers to the far side and Schroeder in the backfield. See if they keep feeding number 5. No, that looks like Fuller this time, number 4. He makes a man miss. He's still on his feet. Around the end, out to the 40-yard line before he finally decides that's enough. Let's see where they spot him. 17, 20 yards. I believe that was Fuller. They try the pitch to this side, and that's Fuller. And he loses 1, 2, 3. Not that time. Mountain Crest can keep the running game going. They're in good position. Leading by 8. Picked up 1, 2, 3, 4 on the run. So part of the lost yardage back, but not all of it. And it's 3rd down and 7. Mountain Crest 50% on 3rd downs, 4 of 8. Across the middle, and he throws, and it's picked. Picked by the safety, heading the other way, and Box Elder in business. Braden Peterson, I think that one may have been tipped. Goes right to Peterson, and he returns. That's the 2nd interception for Burbank. He threw it, and none of the receivers were looking for it. The inside receiver hadn't even turned around. And Box Elder with another turnover that they've caused. 2 interceptions and a fumble for Mountain Crest, 3 turnovers. And yet they cling to a 15-7 lead with 5.5 to play in the 3rd. Buchanan in trouble, gets out of it, leaves it up for Holgate, who hauls it in. Hey, that was good coverage. Holgate just made a better play. 32 yards. Holgate now 3 catches, 80 yards. And just like that, Box Elder's in scoring position down at the 5-yard line. The give on the little end around. Ball's on the turf, but Taylor fell back on it. He got 3. His 5th carry, 10 yards on the ground for him. Box Elder picking up the pace now. And Mountain Crest is going to take a timeout. It forces Mountain Crest to burn a timeout. In the first half, that's not such a big deal. And in the second half, boy, you want to preserve those timeouts. Mountain Crest forced to take their first with 4:42 to play in the 3rd quarter, leading 15-7, and Box Elder knocking on the door. See if we got any updates on any of the other games going on right now. Most of those games were a little bit behind this one as that first half went by in a hurry. Farmington leads Ridgeline 19-0. That one's about 10 minutes left in the 3rd. Green Canyon still 20-9 as they get ready to start the 3rd in that one. 2nd and goal at the 3. Buchanan's going to keep it. He stood up and pushed back. Let's see if he got down to get himself pushed forward. They stood him straight up. He picked up a yard. So Mountain Crest not conceding a thing, and it's 3rd down. 3rd and goal from the 2. And 3rd down has been an issue for Box Elder. They're 1 for 6 on 3rd downs. And you're probably looking at 4-down territory. That ball's not at the 2, it's nose up on the 1. Somebody moved. One of the Box Elder linemen twitched. Not only that, the back judge was on 4. Oh, they called timeout. Box Elder called timeout before any penalty. The back judge was on 4 of his 5 count. That would have been a 5-yard penalty. I think Coach Robbie Gunter saw that and called timeout. Coach Lee's asking, why don't you throw the flag? They twitched before the timeout. They moved before the timeout. And the officials say, okay, coach, okay. He's still talking to him about it. He's not one that flings his arms up and makes all sorts of demonstrations, but he is one that will tell you what's on his mind. And the white hat comes over and explains things to him, and he gives him a thumbs up and says, okay. 3rd and goal at about the 1.5. Buchanan looking for the edge. It's a foot race, and Buchanan dives in. Touchdown, Box Elder. They strung him all the way to the sidelines, and Buchanan finally decided now's the time to go, and he leaps across for the score. With 3:46 to play in the 3rd, Box Elder will just kick the PAT. Looks good, is good. Back to a 1-point ball game. 15-14, Mountain Crest on top with 3:46 to go in the 3rd.
At Ultra, we don't believe in limits or telling runners they can't or it's not possible. That's why we dared to make shoes with a foot-shaped toe box and gave runners zero-drop technology so that runners could say goodbye to limits too. Ultra invites you to experience the difference everyone's talking about with zero risk. Love your run or send them back within 30 days, no questions asked. Get your pair today at ultrarunning.com. Ultra, zero limits.
15-14, Mountain Crest hanging on to that lead. Turnovers hurting the Mustangs in this one. They've turned it over 3 times. Logan Holgate also hurting the Mustangs. 3 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. If you're Mountain Crest, you keep a close eye on the kick. Make sure Box Elder kicks it away and doesn't do something like the Mustangs started the game with. They go ahead and kick it away. Is Trevor Olson? No. Yeah, it is. Olson coming to the near sideline. Stays in bounds. Up the sideline. He stepped out of bounds. He's all the way out to the 45, but the backside official said he stepped out at the 33. Mountain Crest with 3:38 on the 3rd quarter clock and a 15-14 lead. We'll try to get another drive going here. 3 turnovers for Mountain Crest, yet they still lead in this ball game. Quick hitter to Schroeder. He picks up 4.
Tackle made by number 82, Gavin Hansen. Ball be spotted at the Mountain Crest 38-yard line.
134 yards on 13 carries for Schroeder. 2 touchdowns. 5 having a good night. Here's the hard run. That's not Schroeder. Let's see who that is. That's Jackson. What can go wrong when you've got 2 linebackers running the ball? High formation now, and Jackson is going to be the fullback. Schroeder puts his head down, and he's wrestled down after a gain of 2.
Schroeder, the ball carrier, thrown down early by Kellen Collier. And a run-on play, brings up a 2nd and 9 with the ball spotted. The MC 49-yard line.
Ball at the 49-yard line of Mountain Crest. They're going to give it off again. This time it looks like it's Fuller. He picks up a couple. Those gray uniforms with the silver numbers are cool. But the numbers are kind of tough to see. For old eyes like mine. 3rd down and 6. Motion man, they're going to fake the give. This is the play that Schroeder scored on from before, and he's caught from the backside by Holgate. Schroeder had a good hole. If Holgate doesn't trip him up, he's got another big gain. No gain for Schroeder that time. Now it's 4th down. Fuller into the ball game. Fourth and 7. Mountain Crest showing a lot of confidence in their defense. They're going to go for it, see if they try to get Box Elder off sides, then just take the penalty. And the back judge is counting, and there's the penalty. They were just trying to see if they could get Box Elder to jump. So for Mountain Crest, that's only their 2nd penalty. Well, they had a penalty there on that interception return, as did Box Elder. So 3 penalties apiece for these teams. Mountain Crest going to punt it away. See if Box Elder comes after it. Pretty good kick. Fair catch called for and made inside the 15-yard line, back at about the 11. Let's see where they spot it. Oh, they're going clear out to the 13. Okay. 37 seconds left in the 3rd, and Box Elder trailing by a point. Trots their offense back out onto the field. Mountain Crest has led from the start. Box Elder's been chipping away and won't go away. The Mustangs playing well, but 3 turnovers, hurting their cause. First man through with the carry. And that's Hodgson. He picks up a yard. Well, he gets to do all the hard stuff. He's got 7 carries for 7 yards. His long is 4 yards. He's the guy they're sending right up the gut. His parents have stock in Advil. That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. 15-14, Mountain Crest leads. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for Box Elder when we come back.
Your password is password, and everything you own is gray, Mike.
I thought you liked Basic, Mike.
That was before I had Wendy's Made to Crave chicken sandwiches. Now I know I can do better than Basic.
Upgrade from Basic with 3 new sandwiches on Wendy's Made to Crave menu. The barbecue chicken sandwich, avocado BLT chicken sandwich, and the sauce and bacon chicken sandwich. At Wendy's, we got you.
I need to take a long drive at exactly the speed limit.
15-14 as we go to the 4th quarter. Mountain Crest leads Box Elder by 1 point. Second and 9, the ball at the Box Elder 14-yard line.
Mountain Crest has had a pretty good performance defensively. A couple of quarterback sacks. They haven't been able to turn the ball over, though. Here's some good blocking. Boy, it looked like a big run was unfolding there for Box Elder, but Jackson chases it down from the backside. And Johnson picks up, a yard is all. He looked like he had some yardage. It was blocked well. They had that edge sealed off. They had blocking at the second level, and Jackson comes from the backside and runs the play down. Third and 8. Buchanan's going to throw. Over the middle, too tall. No, not too tall for Holgate. The underneath receiver was too tall for. That's because he's going for Holgate. 27 yards, another big one. And Holgate now is at 107 yards receiving and a touchdown. They've got no answer for 34. If Buchanan's got time, that's who he's looking for. Buchanan's going to keep in trouble. Schroeder's there, Jackson's there. 2 or 3 other gray shirts are there, and down he goes. 7-yard loss. Another sack for Mountain Crest. Because that one looked like it was a rollout for a pass and not a designed run. Mountain Crest isn't huge. They've got some guys up front. They've got some decent size up front. Huerta's a big kid. But they're not gigantic. Those guys are taking up space, and then the linebackers are cleaning up. Buchanan's going to throw. He's in trouble again. No, he runs this one on. This was a design run. Buchanan into the secondary, and down he goes. There's nobody keeping an eye on that quarterback, and he picks up huge yardage. 41 yards for Buchanan. He went back like he was going to pass and then just turned around and took off. They're coming so hard after him, they all ran right past him, and there was nobody for acres around that kid. Here's the give to Johnson. Johnson, no gain. Those explosives, plays of 20 yards or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 explosives in this game for Box Elder. For Mountain Crest, 1. The run by Schroeder for the touchdown, the 59-yard touchdown run. Box Elder looking to take the lead. We're in the fourth quarter. Buchanan laying it out there for Holgate. He hauls it in. He's 6'4". That DB had great position, but Holgate just reached up over him and took it away. 23 yards and the go-ahead score. .130 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns now for Holgate. Kicks up, kicks good. Boy, they looked at each other for a long time. 21-15 with 8:35 to go. Box Elder takes their first lead.
When I finally got tired of playing through knee pain, I went to a surgeon I'd heard good things about. Best choice I ever made. My doctor was great, but so was the hospital. They presented me with all of my options, and they took time to help me make decisions. That's the way it should be. That's what led to this moment. And that look on Phil's face.
Before your moment of truth, choose a health plan that partners with the Mountain Star Healthcare Network.
Not bigger, just better.
Mountain Crest has led from the start until now. 8:35 to play in the ball game, and Box Elder just took their first lead. A couple of big plays on that drive. A 23-yard touchdown throw to Holgate. He just out-jumped the defensive back for it. And a 41-yard run by Buchanan. Veeder and Olsen back to take the kick. This one's going out of bounds. So the Mustangs will get pretty decent starting field position, but they need to get an offensive drive going for the first time tonight. They're behind the 8 ball, trailing 21-15. 3 turnovers for Mountain Crest tonight. One of them deep in Box Elder territory. Box Elder hasn't turned it over. Mountain Crest came up with that opening kickoff, that little short pooch kick that they did. Box Elder's taking care of the football, and both teams doing pretty well avoiding penalties. Burbank's going to throw. He finds Baldwin for 8. Baldwin 2 catches, 17 yards. Let's see what Mountain Crest does offensively. If they still stay with the Schroeder comes off, they still stay with that kind of pound in the ground, or if they try to open it up a little bit more. Fuller's your running back on 2nd and 2. We're going to give to Fuller on the count. Trey Fuller picked up 3 and a first down. He's averaging 4 yards a carry.
Number 60, set Womack, tackle for the D's.
Mountain Crest with 185 yards rushing. Here's Schroeder into the game. He tried to cut it outside. Looked like he had a hole up inside. They were filling it up, and then he was walloped at the line of scrimmage. Schroeder with 136 yards rushing, but his last 4 carries have been tough sled. 4 yards, 2 yards, 0 and 0. Olsen to the near side. Hutchinson in the backfield. Motion, and they give to the motion man on the fly sweep. Turns inside, it's Fuller, and he picks up good yardage. It'll be 3rd and short as he picked up 6. 4 of 10 for the Mustangs on 3rd down. They're 0 for their last 2. And this one a huge 3rd down. We're under 6.5 to play, and Mountain Crest trails by 6, 21-15. 7 guys in the box for Box Elder. They throw another pick. Not sure where Burbank was going there. He threw it right to the defender. He looked right at him. There were 3 defenders over there, and he threw it right to one of them. That's his 3rd pick. And Mountain Crest with their 4th turnover, and Box Elder with a chance to work on putting this one away as they start at the 47-yard line of Mountain Crest. The Mustang defense, as good as it's been tonight, has not been able to generate a turnover. Only 79 yards rushing by Box Elder, 197 through the air.
14 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Utah State 35.
All right, let's see what Box Elder does. First man through on the underneath give, loss of a yard. McKinnon. That's only his second carry of the night. He's got 2 carries for -1. Box Elder just content to take their time now that they have the lead. Here's the give. Is that Johnson? He's going to lose 3. It's an interesting handoff on that. The way Buchanan does that, they fake the give up inside, and they bring the guy around on a little sweep, and he kind of hands it to him almost like a little reverse backward handoff. He makes it look like he's still got the ball after to try to freeze those backers and sow some confusion. 3rd down. Huge 3rd down. 3rd and 13. Buchanan in trouble. Ball's free. Mustangs have it. There's the turnover we were talking about. So the Mustang defense finally generates a turnover, and it comes at a great time. Mountain Crest trailing by 6 with 4:43 to play in the game. They're on the Box Elder 42-yard line. Burbank hangs in, too long. He had numbers to the right. He was looking left. He had 2 guys with 1 defender to the right, but the pocket broke down before he was able to check down or go across his progression. And I don't know if his progression started on the right and then went right to left. He would have had to come back to it, but he had 2 guys with 1 defender on there, so they missed numbers there. Loss of 2. And to Schroeder. He picks up the lost yardage and then some. Pick up of 4.
Number 26, Joe Gifford on the stop for the Bees. Brings up a 3rd and 6 for the Mustangs.
Third down. 4 of 11 on 3rd down for Mountain Crest. They give it to Jackson. Jackson on the quick hitter picks up a yard, so now it's going to be 4th down.
Eli Jackson, the ball carrier. Gain of 1 on the play.
Mountain Crest at one time was 4 of 8 on 3rd downs. They were 500 on 3rd downs. They missed on their last 4 3rd downs, including a turnover. So with 3 minutes to play and the clock running, Mountain Crest, why not? They're going to go for it. Ball at the 37 of Box Elder. 3 receivers to the near side for Burbank, and a timeout called by the Mustangs with 2:46 on the clock. So if you've just tuned in, Mountain Crest trails 21-15. They've led this entire ball game until just a few minutes ago, and Box Elder was able to get it into the end zone and take a 21-15 lead. It's been a defensive, I'd say defensive gem, but they've given up 21 points, but it still has been a heck of a defensive game for the Mountain Crest defense, because offensively, Mountain Crest turned the ball over 4 times. So for the defense to only give up 21 after 4 turnovers, they've played a good game defensively. Box Elder has as well. It's been a football game. It hasn't been a video game tonight. It's been a football game. So this is probably 4th down in the ball game for Mountain Crest. With 2:46 to play, stranger things have happened. But the Mustangs need 5 yards. Burbank, across the middle, catch. Boy, he's going to be short. It depends on the spot. I think he's a little short. It was Hutchinson. I think he's a little short. He caught it and then he ran sideways. And he's trying to find a little bit of yardage. If he catches it, maybe turns it upfield, and maybe he gets it. But there was a defender right there with him. And it's easy to sit up here and second guess that. They're going to measure it. He is right at the sticks. Here's the stretch. He's short. So Box Elder takes over with 2:40 to play, and he was short by a deck of cards. Burbank stood in there against a rush, put the ball right on the money. Hutchinson made the catch, tried to work his way upfield, was forced to go lateral instead of vertical, and couldn't get the first down. For the Mustangs, I believe they only have 2 first downs. They may only have 1 timeout left, excuse me. The scoreboard where they have timeouts left isn't working. I know they've taken at least 1 timeout already that I can remember. They took it early in the 3rd. Buchanan keeps it. He picks up 5. For Mountain Crest. If this score holds, it would just be a demoralizing loss. You will lead the whole game, but once again, for the 2nd week in a row, you hand the game to the opponent. This time, last week it was turnovers. This week it's last week it was penalties. This week it's turnovers. You got to credit Box Elder. They forced some turnovers defensively, and then they did what they had to do offensively. A timeout called by Box Elder. 1:51 on the clock. They're a long time in the huddle with the Bees. 4 turnovers for Mountain Crest, 1 for Box Elder. That one was just a few moments ago, but Mountain Crest wasn't able to capitalize. Green Canyon leading Stansbury 23-16 at the end of the 3rd quarter. Farmington going into the 4th leading Ridgeline 25-0. Looks like Farmington might be a force to be reckoned with. Logan and Skyview already won last night. With the new RPI, everybody makes the playoffs. Your winning percentage, your opponent's winning percentage, and your opponent's winning percentage all goes into it, so it helps every team for their region teams to win. Buchanan picks up a couple. Mountain Crest will take a timeout. Third and 3. after the timeout. Well, for us, next week we're at Ridgeline, Highland of Idaho, up in Idaho. They're in eastern Idaho. They are a pretty good team year in and year out, taking on Ridgeline. And then the week after that is the start of region play. Green Canyon at Skyview. We'll have that one for you right here on the Valley Channel. 1:45 to go in this one. Box Elder, if they pick up a first down, could put this game away. Mountain Crest has 2 more home games against Bonneville, and then they start region play by hosting Logan. Box Elder goes back home to host Green Canyon next week, and then Farmington. Farmington's in Box Elder's region. Bountiful, Farmington, Roy, Viewmont, Woods Cross. Here's the run, first down. That was a great effort. Just keeping it in the hands of the big quarterback. He needed 2, he picked up 4. Clock stops while they move the chains, and that's probably going to do it. I don't think Mountain Crest has any timeouts left. And barring a turnover, just a tough one to swallow for Mountain Crest. They lead the whole way, but turnovers eventually come back to haunt them. They didn't really give up a lot of points off those turnovers directly. And keep in mind, one of the turnovers was a pick 6 that was called back on a penalty. Mountain Crest found their offense a little bit more tonight. 140 yards for Hunter Schroeder. Close to 200 yards rushing for the Mustangs, but only 67 through the air. And I don't think Box Elder's going to have to snap it again. They won't. Box Elder comes from behind. Mountain Crest led the whole way. Box Elder catches them and passes them in the 4th to win 21-15. Thanks for joining us on the Game of the Week. We'll see you next week at Ridgeline on the Game of the Week.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. New Smile Dental, experienced dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Palmer Home Furnishings, our low overhead means higher quality at lower prices. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Anderson Seed and Garden, growing better gardeners. Factory Pizzeria, we're open late after the game. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years.